The Imperial border station had not seen danger in years. The Empire ruled this sector with fear. No fleet dared to cross into its space. Trade ships requested permission. Military ships stayed far away. Then the censor officer saw something strange. A signal. Old. Human. Military code. He checked again. It was not a glitch. The signal was strong, moving steadily toward the Empire's inner systems. His hands grew cold. "Commander, you need to see this." The commander walked slowly to the main screen. He expected pirates, maybe rebels, but not this. The data loaded fully. Classification: Terran battleship. The room fell silent. Humans had not entered Imperial territory since the last war, and that war had nearly broken both sides. "Scan for escorts," the commander ordered. Nothing appeared. No fleet, no support ships, just one massive human battleship. Alone. It was not hiding. It was not using stealth. It was broadcasting its identity openly. That was what made it worse. Across the command deck, officers whispered. Everyone remembered the war records. Human battleships were not normal ships. They were built to survive impossible fights. Heavy armor, deep power cores, weapons that ignored fear. The ship did not change speed. It did not send a message. It simply crossed the borderline, without permission, without warning. The commander felt something he had not felt in years. Uncertainty. He sent an emergency alert to the High Council. Within minutes, news spread beyond the Empire. Other civilizations began watching the live military feed. One human battleship had entered Imperial space, and it was moving deeper. Calm, silent, unstoppable. The galaxy did not panic because of what the ship had done. It panicked because of what humans were known to do next, and the battleship was still coming. The Empire had ruled this sector for over 200 years. Its fleets had crushed rebellions. Its armies had erased entire civilizations. No one challenged Imperial borders. Until now, 50 Imperial warships were ordered to intercept the human battleship. They formed a tight blockade near the defense line. Weapons charged, shields at full power. The human ship did not slow down. It did not change direction. It moved straight toward the blockade. The Imperial Admiral opened a channel. "Human vessel, you are inside Imperial territory. Stop your advance immediately." Silence. The battleship continued forward. The distance between them grew smaller. Fighter squadrons launched from Imperial carriers. They surrounded the human ship like insects around a giant machine. Still no response. Then, suddenly, a transmission came through. "Calm. Clear. Human. Maintain distance." Only 2 words. No threat. No anger. The Admiral felt insulted. He ordered warning shots across the ship's path. Bright beams flashed across space. The human battleship did not fire back. Instead, it activated something. Energy levels around the ship began to rise. Not weapon charge. Something else. Imperial radar flickered. Target locks failed. Missile systems reset. Communication lines filled with static. The Admiral's smile disappeared. The human ship had not attacked. It had only shown control. With one silent move, it proved that the Empire could not even lock onto it properly. Across the galaxy, military observers watched the live feed. Whispers spread between star systems. If one human battleship could disable Imperial systems without firing, what else could it do? The Imperial fleet held position. They were waiting for orders. The human battleship was still moving forward. Calm, confident, as if the entire Imperial Navy was nothing more than background noise. And for the first time in decades, the Empire felt something dangerous. Doubt. The High Council gathered in emergency session. Holographic screens filled the chamber, showing the human battleship drifting between Imperial warships. The ship looked calm, almost patient. The Council expected a demand, a threat, an ultimatum. Instead, the battleship sent a data burst across every open channel in the sector. It was not a weapon. It was a recording. Old war footage began to play on Imperial screens. Cities burning. Imperial fleets breaking apart under heavy Terran fire. Then the image of a human commander appeared. His voice was steady. "If the Empire ever crosses a line again," he had said years ago, "we will return, not with anger, with certainty." The recording ended. Silence filled the council chamber. The battleship still had not fired a single shot. It had only crossed the border. It had only reminded them of history. Military analysts rushed to check recent reports. 3 weeks earlier, an Imperial patrol had destroyed a small human research outpost near neutral space. The Empire had called an accident. Humanity had not responded. Until now, the Council finally understood. This was not an invasion. This was a warning. The battleship began transmitting one final message. "We are aware." That was all. No shouting. No threats. Just quiet confirmation. Across the galaxy, governments watched the situation closely. Traders paused routes. Border worlds activated shields. If humans answer a small attack with this kind of response, what would they do if the Empire pushed further? The Imperial Admiral looked at his fleet. 50 warships. Fully armed, yet none of them dared to fire first. Because deep down they knew something terrifying. The human battleship was not alone, even if no other ships were visible. Humanity never sent a message without a reason, and this message was only the beginning. The Empire refused to look weak. The High Council gave a direct order. End this. Deep inside the sector, a hidden defense platform powered on. It was the Empire's greatest weapon, a starbase cannon built after the last war with humanity. It had never been used in battle. Until now, massive energy rings began to rotate around the platform. Power drained from nearby stations. The weapon charged slowly, pulling light into its core. The human battleship did not retreat. It did not speed up. It adjusted its position slightly, facing the weapon directly. Imperial officers watched the energy readings rise. The cannon was designed to destroy capital ships in a single strike. No shield could survive a direct hit. The Admiral felt confident again. Fire. A beam of pure white energy cut across space. It struck the human battleship head-on. For a moment, nothing could be seen. Sensors went blind. Communication froze. The entire sector shook from the energy release. When the light faded, officers rushed to confirm the kill. The human battleship was still there. Its shields were weakened. Its hull showed damage. But it was intact. More than intact. It was stable. Energy readings from the Terran ship began to rise. Not defensive energy. Weapon charge. Across the galaxy, observers leaned closer to their screens. The Empire had just used its strongest weapon, and it had failed. The human battleship sent one short transmission. "Your response has been recorded." The tone was calm, almost neutral. That was when fear truly began to spread, because the Empire had escalated, and the humans had survived. The battleship's main cannon started to glow. For the first time since it entered Imperial space, it was preparing to fire. The Imperial fleet waited. No one spoke. 50 warships surrounded the human battleship. The defense platform was still recharging. Fighters held position, but none dared to move closer. The Terran ship's main cannon glowed brighter. Energy readings climbed higher than anything Imperial sensors had recorded before. It was not fast. It was controlled, measured. The Admiral whispered, "All ships, prepare for impact." But the human battleship did not aim at the fleet. It aimed at the defense platform, the same weapon that had fired first. For one long second, everything felt frozen. Then the battleship fired. There was no dramatic explosion at first, just a single beam of deep blue light. Clean, focused. It struck the platform directly at its power core. The platform did not explode immediately. It shut down. Every system went dark. Then, seconds later, the entire structure tore apart from the inside. The Empire's greatest weapon became silent debris drifting in space. The human battleship powered down its cannon. It did not fire again. It did not attack the fleet. It did not advance. It simply held position. The Imperial Admiral felt something worse than fear. Humiliation. The Empire had attacked first. The Empire had used its strongest weapon, and one human battleship had erased it with a single shot. Across the galaxy, Leaders understood the message clearly. This was not war. This was balance. The Terran ship opened one final channel. We responded proportionally. That was all. No threats. No celebration. The Imperial fleet slowly lowered its weapons, because now everyone understood something simple and terrifying. If this was humanity being calm, what would humanity look like when it was angry? The destruction of the defense platform was broadcast across the galaxy within minutes. Every major power saw it. Every military analyst replayed it. One human battleship had entered Imperial space, faced 50 warships, survived the Empire's strongest weapon, and destroyed it with a single controlled shot. Then it stopped. That was what caused the panic. The ship did not press the attack. It did not destroy the fleet. It did not demand surrender. It simply remained there, silent, steady, and fully capable of doing more. Galactic governments began emergency meetings. Trade routes were paused. Border defenses were raised. Smaller empires quietly reviewed old treaties with humanity, because this was no longer about the Empire. This was about what humans were willing to do. Reports began to surface from deep space scanners. Faint signals. Similar Terran energy signatures detected far beyond the Imperial border. Unconfirmed, but possible. The fear grew stronger. If one battleship could act this confidently inside enemy territory, how many others were waiting in the dark? Inside Imperial Command, the High Council made a decision they never thought they would make. They opened a direct diplomatic channel to the Terran Alliance. Not from strength, from caution. The human battleship finally responded. We did not come for war. We came to correct a mistake. No anger, no emotion, just clarity. Hours later, the ship turned slowly and exited the sector. No escort, no celebration. It left as calmly as it had arrived. But the damage was already done. The Empire had been tested, and the galaxy had been reminded of something important. Humanity did not need an armada to shake the stars. Sometimes one battleship was enough.